Okay, yeah, what I think the problem is right now, TJ, with your discussion with others is that there's this kind of misunderstanding, I think, um, between how they perceive your arguments, your propositions. Um, as far as I see, you are bringing up the some key elements that go into uh, that are factors in the causes of things like rape. But this can also apply to all sorts of other things that people will perceive as immoral actions. Um, while like you're looking, I think you're looking at these things as ways to, like, if you understand what's under the problem, what's behind the problem, and all the factors, you can solve it. You can work a way to addressing the problem if you understand it, and I completely agree. However, these people that are offended by your videos, offended by your comments, I believe that they think that you, and I'm pretty sure that you realize this as well, that they are thinking that you are making excuses for. See, in their mind, there's good, there's evil, and these are clashing forces, and these people that are raping and doing these things are, like, it's only because they choose to do some sexually gluttonous act, and that's not, and like they think that, like, we must, like, if anyone thinks otherwise, if anyone brings anything else into the picture, it's giving way to, giving in to it, like saying, I think they believe that, okay, well, if we start saying that there's some sort of nature behind these actions, they're ultimately saying that it's inevitable for people to rape, and it's inevitable for people with some sort of genetic predisposition to have a kind of attitude that will lead to people doing immoral actions, that it will somehow excuse them. But I think this is exactly the opposite. I mean, I do think that we are born with certain circumstances, and we do live with these kind of of these things. We do live with these kind of things that we're not exactly conscious of, and therefore we don't have as much control of. But I think that's just the more of the reason that the moral aspect of this discussion shouldn't be that nothing else is involved. I think it is important to bring in morals, but as a solution, not as this kind of thing where we're ignoring the factors. I think the role of morality uh, on well, a communal or an individual basis is to say, okay, I look at these kind of underlying things, but I am born with these kind of instincts or with these kinds of attitudes. But for me, morality is, I have a choice to do what I want with these circumstances. For me, a moral person isn't someone who doesn't have impulses and goes around without ever thinking of doing wrong, without whatever. I think to be the morality is being in that situation, being that anxious guy in the bar, sexually stressed, etc., seeing this thing that's tempting him, and he's being pushed to the edge. And I think where morality comes in is where he says, look, I have a choice to do what I want to do, and I know that this is wrong, and I believe that it's wrong, and therefore I have the power to do it, and I will take advantage of that knowledge and of my own conviction, and I will hold myself back. And I think that is where what morality should be playing in this discussion, and I think that talking about these circumstances that surround these immoral things, these kind of uh, these bad actions, or whatever you want to call them, uh, should be viewed as helping helping our understanding, helping this, because even morality, you can't. I think a good set of morals has to encompass every situation. I can't ignore something and say that, oh well, I already know how to be moral about something, and I'm not going to listen to the factors involved. I think all the factors uh, should be considered, and that will give us a better understanding on how we can uh, retaliate if we want to impose our moral judgments on those kind of situations. So that's what I think, and answer me with your thoughts if you care to, as for you viewers too.